Morgan was a funny kid, full of life. She always kind of lit up the room when she walked into the room. She was rambunctious, she was stubborn, she was funny, she was so talented, passionate about sports. Every single sport she wanted to try, every single sport she tried, she was relatively good at. She was first a soccer lover. So she played soccer at a very young age. When the soccer team folded, she thought, this is a perfect opportunity for me to run down the lacrosse road. Coaches saw something and said, we can work with her. We were a little surprised, but we had heard back then that she would probably be one of the top recruits in the country. She had her eye on Duke from the first day of recruiting, and when it came through, I think she thought there's no other way to, she's made it to the top. So we were proud of her. We were really proud of her. Sophomore year, literally 10 days before their first scrimmage, she had a pretty devastating knee injury, but she did whatever the doctor said, took really, really good care of herself. And she dove hard into the rehab for that next year. So it was a rigorous 12 months. She had her ups and downs, which we thought was very normal. She's disappointed, she's discouraged, she's tired. Her grades started slipping. That seemed a little bit normal. Life just wasn't great. She kind of started to not talk to us so much. She was stopping the details that would normally come home. And so we just wrapped it up to that she's just discouraged. After we lost Morgan, we learned a lot about what she was feeling and thinking. She wrote down her fears that things weren't right, that she was scared, that she felt overwhelmed, that she felt like she was having nervous breakdowns. She also wrote that she was afraid to say anything. We have learned since that the repercussions that she would have felt, I hate to say it, they probably were real. If she had come to us, we probably would have encouraged her to take some time off of school, come home and get some help. If she had opened up to her coaches, there's a really good chance that they would have taken her out of the game. For her benefit, the repercussions would have been to take her out of what she loved. We felt an obligation to these young people that were so close to Morgan. And when I say people, I mean her teammates and her friends. I felt like we kind of owed them a chance for them to see us, that we were okay or that we were surviving. And we were finally opening up the conversation and saying, gosh, did you see anything? In hindsight, did you see anything? How did this happen? This really came out of the blue. We don't have any mental health issues or struggles in our family. So we knew nothing about mental illness. The signs that she was showing probably would have raised red flags if we were more educated on mental health or mental illness, but they were very subtle. If this can happen to Morgan, this can happen to absolutely anyone out there. There's got to be thousands of others like her out there that are terrified to talk about it. And so we decided that we would start a podcast and have stories of student athletes talk about their mental health struggles. And we thought that would make a tiny little dent in the impact of the stigma. We started social media campaigns and it absolutely blew up. The people that were reaching out to us saying, we need to talk about this. We want to talk about this. We don't feel like there's a safe place for this. So we created Morgan's Message. We have an educational program where we have chapters on several campuses around the country. And it's a safe place for these student athletes to go once a month and talk about it. And more student athletes are feeling safer and safer to admitting that they're not perfect. And their whole life, they've been told, just tough it out. Just tough it. It's not that big. You're an athlete. You're strong. You're mentally strong. You're physically strong. Move on. We say, go to your coach, go to your advisor, go to your parents, Go to any trusted adult, go to a trusted friend, start somewhere. We want the treatment of mental health to be treated equally to physical health in the student athlete's world. It's not. Doctors are available at the college level at athletes' beck and call. When a sprained ankle or a broken collarbone or something like that happens, the doctors are right there. But when there's a mental health problem, it's a lot trickier. I think it's important when kids go off to play college sport at any level that the parents are at least aware that there's a lot of mental health issues with college athletes. And that doesn't mean to scare them. It doesn't mean that your child, it's imminent that they're going to have an issue, but they're going to maybe run across other people that have issues, have other people that have challenges, and maybe talk about how maybe you can help a fellow teammate that looks like they're having challenges, or talk about if you ever feel like you're having challenges. Honestly, the bottom line is just to talk about it. Open up the conversation about mental health, mental illness in athletics, in college. I have a lot of hope that young people today, they are so open to talking about this stuff. They want to talk about this stuff. They want to be open and honest. It's the generations above them that are a little uncomfortable with it because we didn't grow up with this kind of openness. So I do hope that the legacy will continue through the young people that are listening to Morgan's message today, following Morgan's message. I hope they take it with them forever and that the stigma changes. It stops at their generation. From there on down, it's gone.